Should you buy a home right now in 2022 or should you wait? That's a question I think tons of people out there are trying to answer, and it's really confusing because there's so much social media frenzy and opinions all over the place, and a lot of it, folks, just isn't true. So I'm going to give you my best advice, so stay tuned. Hi, my name is Nora Spangler, and I am a realtor here in beautiful Bend, Oregon. As a real estate advisor, my job is not just to sell you a home or to sell your home. I work with both buyers and sellers, but I don't want to just be there during the couple months or however long it takes to buy or sell a home. I want to be your realtor for life. I want to be an advisor who helps you make the most important decision. I mean, buying a home is a huge thing, right? This decision is going to be with you for years and years to come. And the effect of this purchase, either good or bad, on your family's finances are going to last a long time. Let's get started and let's see if we can maybe eliminate some fallacies and some fears that are out there in the market floating around, and maybe it's making your head spin and it's paralyzing you from either moving forward and saying, yes, I'm going to buy, or from just saying, no, this is not the best time for me. I am just going to stop looking and I'm going to wait. Either one of those is a valid decision. So let's talk about why you might do one or the other. I like to get news from reliable resources, and this is what I recommend for you. If you're having trouble navigating this decision of should I be in or out to buy a home this year or not, I suggest you get out of the crazy social media, just insanity out there. The clickbait that's out there is unreal. And find a few reliable news sources that you can trust. Hopefully, I would love to be one of those, but find some good, reliable sources and stick with them. So one that I trust is the Mortgage Bankers Association, the MBA. So what their report that just came out last month said that not foreclosures, but delinquent loans, which is a little bit before the foreclosure happens, but loan delinquencies went down in Q2 of 2022, and they are at a historic low. So in order to have what everyone thinks of as a crash, you have to have a huge amount of inventory, which I talked about in my video last week, so check that out. And if one of the supply sources for a huge number of homes coming on the market, which happened in the last 2008 in the crash, is delinquencies and foreclosures. And that's just not going to happen, people. It is just not happening. Employment is high and people are not defaulting on their loans. It's not going to crash, folks. I'm just telling you, especially in Bend, in my market. It's not going to crash. So we're going to look at the Mortgage Association's estimate of what future interest rates are going to look like. But for now, let's look at another source, which is an article I read this morning from Business Insider. And they are saying, as well as all of the experts really are saying, that mortgage interest rates should hold steady around that 5.5% rate, probably for the next 6 months through the winter, maybe into next year. But next year, so I have a chart here that's from the Mortgage Bankers Association, and it's their forecast. So these are the experts. This is what they're forecasting for the rest of this year, 2023 and 2024. So let's say in Bend you wanted to buy a home that was $500,000 and you were going to put 20% down. And interest rates right now are about 5.2%. So let's say that's your interest rate. Your payment is going to be $21.96. That's just principal and interest. Now, let's say that homes rise in the next 6 to 9 months, just a little tiny bit, 2.5%. This house now costs $512,500. And according to this chart, the interest rates possibly could go down a little bit. Let's assume you got a 4.8% interest rate. your payment would be about $45 lower. Okay, that sounds great. $45 a month saved. Well, I hate to tell you, but I think Ben's home prices are going to be more than 2.5% higher 6 to 9 months from now, because that's just our market. So let's say our home prices went up 5%, which is very modest. That's a really conservative low guess. And let's say interest rates were not quite that good, but you could get 5%, so down a little bit from right now. That home is going to cost you $525,000, and your monthly payment is going to be $2,254. So that's, $60, $70 more than it would be if you had bought now. So, really, I'm not saying for sure homes are going to be more expensive, interest rates are going to be higher, lower. Really, the experts are not sure. There are so many levers and so many moving parts to this. The article I read this morning was from Bloomberg, and they talked about risk. So if your head is swirling and you're trying to decide, should I buy now, should I buy later? Since this is such an important decision, let's look at the risks. What are the risks to buy now versus waiting and maybe buying in 2023 or later? So some of the risks of buying now might be that you are going to feel like you overpaid. Now in Bend, that's probably not true because our prices are on the rise. But over the long term, Bend's housing market has risen steadily since the last crash when it recovered. Basically since 2015, our home prices have been steadily rising at double digits many years. Another risk might be you feel like you have to settle for a house that's not perfect. That's really not what you want, because if you buy now, our inventory is still somewhat low. I think this is a unique problem of Bend, which is sort of a destination that people choose to move here because they really want to live here. And packed along with that dream of moving to Bend is the perfect house in Bend. So just here to tell you, in real estate in general, there is never a perfect home. Existing homes have been owned and remodeled and lived in by lots of different people. So you're buying a used product, and rarely are you going to find a used product that's perfect. And even new construction is not perfect because you have to live with more construction around you. The amenities may not be ready yet. There's dust and dirt and noise everywhere. And with so many people working from home, sometimes new construction is not such a good idea. So let's just all agree and let go of that fallacy of, I can't find the home, that I really want right now because the yard's not perfect or the driveway's facing the wrong direction. So what are the risks of waiting until 2023 to purchase a home and just saying, nope, I'm not going to do it in 2022? Well, first of all, you're probably going to pay more for that home. Home prices in Bend have gone up well over 19% from a year ago. If you look at month to month, like July 2022 back to July 2021, they've gone up over 15%, just comparing each month. So our home prices are not necessarily following the national average. While growth has slowed down a little bit, we had really high growth over the pandemic years. But right now, 20% is actually a slowdown in growth. So imagine home prices went up even 5 or 10%. A $500,000 home is now $550,000. You're going to have to bring more money to the table to equalize that mortgage payment. And point two, interest rates are a question. We don't really know what's going to happen. So that's my third point about waiting, is that you might look back and regret. Every market has its challenges, and there's never going to be a perfect time where all the stars align. If you wait till next year and interest rates are lower, you're probably going to have more competition, more people coming back into the market that have been on the sidelines with low interest rates. If prices are moderately, increasing or the same as they are right now, which I don't think they will be in Bend, I think they'll be higher. You're going to have more people in the market right alongside you competing for those homes. So right now, I think there are some good opportunities for buyers. There's lower competition. Interest rates are reasonable. They're not as low as you would like them to be, but if it's affordable for you, then it might be better to buy now than to wait for the unknown. We don't really know what's going to happen over the next few years. And if you do choose to wait, my hope for you is just that you base that on a solid personal reason, that it's better for you financially, for your family. It's just better all around for you to wait. Don't base it on the crazy, lies and fallacies that are being posted on social media for clickbait. And, that's all it is. They just want your attention. And in our short attention span, world that we live in, that's the tactic that they use. And I think it's just really messing with people's minds. So if you step back and look at the bigger picture, instead of always focusing in the tiny micro things, you might find a little more peace and calm in your mind. So reach out to me, click the link in the description below. There's a link. You can just book a short phone call with me, no obligation. And I would love to help you sort through the things, maybe just get some action steps lined up. What do you need to do to make the decision yes or no? Should I buy this year or should I wait? Let's chat.